Hello, hello, hello. Today is October the 31st, 2022. Trading and investing of any kind carries risk. Everything discussed here is for entertainment purposes only and not to be taken as financial advice because I don't give advice. So let's look at what happened today in the market. Not much. Not much at all. Except we had 16 million shares accumulated today. 16 million. 10 million of those at this range up here in the 389.07-ish range. So that's a lot. So what I'm expecting
Market data connection lost.
is what we had last time, which was,
Market data connection reestablished.
thank you, a bit of a splash effect, as we'd kind of discussed previously. So the last time, if we look back over here, we ended up accumulating roughly 10 million. I think there was more in the day, but at that one level, there was roughly 10 million. And then what did we end up getting? Well, we ended up getting this kerplunk splash, right? So I would like to see something similar. And that something similar, I would like to see push us up around between 392 and 395. Now, do I think we'll get that? Well, I don't know. That is yet to be seen. We've got signals that say we could get up there. I mean, hell, we've got a signal that says we could get upwards of 411 or so. So, we'll see if that actually happens or not. But yeah, I'm not going to rule it out at this point because of the elections coming up. I don't really know. I don't really think the market is going to pull. Now, I'm not saying we won't pull back. If I were to have my perfect world scenario, what I would like to really see would be a push up from here, from this accumulation, from this splash. I'd really like to see a push up to like 394, between 392 and 394 or so. And then, kind of almost what we saw last time, right? Which is going to be something like this, and then get a little bit more off of that, pull back to either here or get a deeper pullback to maybe here. That's kind of what I would like to see. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. We'll just have to play what we see as we do. But that's kind of, in my head, that's kind of what I'm looking for. Now, there's this pattern here that gets us up to 400. We're going to need some effort and some momentum to get up there, and that we definitely didn't have that today. So, we'll have to look and kind of see where tomorrow goes and see if we continue to accumulate. And if so, then we'll continue to get these waves, right? So, yeah, I'm very curious to see how that works itself out. Ultimately, through the election cycle, kind of what I would like to see is, basically kind of complete the other side of this. This thing pulled further down here. Get us one of these, get us a pullback to here or to here, take us up to those levels between 400 and like 410 or 411. And then, that gets us right up around this high point. So if we measure that, let's see what that gets us. Let's just measure this baby out. Why not? So 88.6 is 408. Yeah, so if we were to get a pop to this 408 area, it's at some point through that cycle, and then get that wick that kind of sticks up above maybe to 411, that'd be cool. We'll see how it goes, though. We'll just have to trade what we see, as we say. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking for, ultimately through that whole cycle, and we'll see how it works out. Now, also, if we wanted to try to get a bit more crazy, we have this other pattern here at an 88.6, which could take us to 422. And if we were to pop through to a 113, that gets us up around 443. Pretty crazy. Well, we'll see. I didn't think we'd get near 400, and look at this. I mean, look at us now. We're you know, less than 10 points away. So, we'll see how it goes. But, this is just one of those things, right? Just when you think it might not be able to keep going up, it still goes up, right? It's the same thing sometimes when it pulls and you're just like, it can't go any lower. And oh, guess what? It's kind of one of those hold my beer and watch this is what the market says to you. So now let's zoom in a bit on today and just kind of see what we could have done today. There wasn't a whole lot today.
Connection lost.
But we have this
market data connection reestablished
pattern here. It pushed up, got some news, pull back, created that W, completed the M, right? So that's definitely a pattern. Could have traded either one of those, right? That M or that W. And then, there were some other patterns here. They weren't very pretty. I mean, they took a while to complete. They were just, they just didn't look that great. So still could have played them if you wanted to, but I really think if you were going to play a solid, I'm going to air quote solid, the most solid pattern we really saw today was probably this here. And this is on a lower time frame. If we were to look at that on a 5-minute time frame, it's Look at that. That's what that looked like on a 5-minute time frame. Just not anything really that beautiful today. So anyway, yeah, that's kind of where I stand, what I would like to see. But again, opinion could change. Something could come along and, make me disagree with the things that I've said. Previously something I wanted to actually mention is that I talked about this 3 hills and a mountain set up here. So what I wanted to go back and do here is when I drew it the first time, I had drawn it. Oh, where is my? Oh, anyway, I'll just draw it like that. So, I'd kind of drawn it like this. That is not what I'd meant. What I meant to draw was this. Something like that. And so this would look a lot better if I could find my little drawing tool, and for some reason I am having a tough time remembering where it is. Anyway, there we go. Here it is. Wow. Yeah, so the only thing, not the only thing, but one of the only things that really might negate that pattern a bit is that, so let's see, a 50%, wow, you went a bit too far on that one, didn't you? So 50% would be right there. And then we have that cipher pattern as well that still sets up, right? They can still take us to 394 and pull back down. So that's kind of why I would like to see a pull to that area. Anyway, the only thing that really kind of negates that that pattern here would be that this first pullback was 61.8. It wasn't 50%. So typically you want a 50%, 50%, 50% of, each move. And then for that pattern, then you want a 50% of from A to B, right? So you want it to pull back 50% total from here to there. So that's 61.8. So that's, that's one of the things that kind of make it not a solid setup here. And anyway, that's pretty much all I've come up with, right? So anytime I think something is going to happen, I will spend a lot of time looking at things that actually that prove me wrong. So what I'll do tonight in the morning, and just kind of as I mess around with more things, I'll actually take my bias and I'll go and I'll start trying to figure out, okay, let's remove that bias and let's change our bias to make it, let's say it's going to go up. It's just going to continue to push. What are the patterns that set up for that? So that's what I'll do later today. I'll just go back and I'll start looking for patterns that show me that something's going to push. And the thing is, a lot of the larger time frame patterns absolutely speak to that push, which is why I do think we're still going to push through that election cycle. I would still like to see that pullback because some of these smaller patterns are starting to kind of show. So, and then as I said, right now I'm thinking that this was selling, more selling than not actually buying, but could be wrong. And I think that this accumulation here, as we accumulate as we go up, I would think is going to be to kind of tug us back down to turn around and do the same thing to get us back up here somewhere. I honestly don't think it's going to keep going past the cycle of next week, but time will tell, right? So, and like I said, there's this other pattern here, right? That's the same, that kind of pushes us up to the, beyond this area here. So that's where things stand for me right now. If anybody comments, questions, I like making these videos. Like, subscribe, tell people. I like conversation. So, if you have ideas or anything that hey, look at this or check this out, I would love to be able to do that. I only trade the SPY in futures. Sometimes I'll trade other like Tesla and stuff like that, but my main focus is what the market's going to do, because typically, unless there's some crazy catalyst or it's earnings, everything's going to follow the market. So I typically try to only trade the market, or at least right around what the market's going to do. So there we have it. I will see everybody hopefully tomorrow. Peace.